Everyone. I've just come back from a run and I was thinking about lockdown. I've done a number of coaching sessions this week, and during those sessions we've kind of been wrapping up, looking at finishing before the summer, and we've been talking about our lockdown learnings, and I've been pondering it for the rest of this week, and I thought I'd do a quick video. Because I think we've all got some really important learns that we should be taking away from this bizarre period. But my fear is that as we all start to settle into the new normal, sorry for using the cringeworthy term, but I can see it happening as people around me are going back to work, maybe back to the office. My husband's gone back to work last week. I can see the healthy habits that we'd started to establish over the last 3 months, and we need about a month to establish a new habit. We've had 3, so we are definitely really far on with hopefully having some really nice habits. For example, we've been taking up more exercise, my husband and I've started running, never ran before in my life. I'm now running twice a week and absolutely loving it, and that's because I've established that habit. But I'm not back to the craziness of commuting anywhere yet, so I'm still managing it. And just as I was looking at my calendar for this week, I saw that I should have been in a different place all over from the top to the bottom of the country, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And the thought of it makes me feel sick. I can't even imagine doing that level of commute and keeping to these healthier habits of cooking healthy meals, going out for family walks, all of that jazz. I just can't see how it's going to work. So the work I'm going to do over the next few days for myself is develop the thinking that I've been doing around my lockdown learning, and I might do some sort of webinar on it. I'm kind of pondering it at the moment, but my 3 lockdown learnings I thought I'd share with you. My first one is acceptance. We were obviously all forced into the most bizarre situation when lockdown happened. Many of us weren't able to work. Many of us aren't still working now. Those of us that are working, it's in a completely different way for most of us. I learned quite early on to try and accept, to let go a little bit. A lot of it was completely out of my control, which is not my preference. For those of you that know me, I like to control as much as I can. I feel much better then. It was completely out of my control, and I just had to let that go. I just had to accept that. And certainly as we now go into this new phase where, for example, here in this household, my husband's gone back to work, I'm juggling managing my own business from home and homeschooling 2 children, there's a whole new level of acceptance there. So that's a new challenge completely. My second lockdown learn is about goal setting. This is primarily linked to, I've been doing some work on mindset recently in some of my webinars, and I've been learning more about having a growth mindset and the power of goal setting, really. And I've really seen this come to fruition with my running. So I never thought I'd be able to run at any length. The furthest I'd run was to the Sales. And I can now I've just run 4.5k, which I've never run that far before. And that's purely down to me saying, I'm going to do 5k. I'm going to get to 5k. I've got the time to do it. I'm going to do it. And the power of that goal setting has really pushed me to get there. And then finally, my final lockdown learn is around habit. And I've just touched on it really. It's hard work to establish a new habit, and we've had a wonderful amount of time to establish new habits. The work I've got to do now is to think about how I'm going to embed those habits even when things are different. So it's about the what ifs. So Michael Phelps, the amazing swimmer, Michael Phelps' coach was said to do a lot of work with him on the what ifs. Now, I'm not comparing myself to Michael Phelps as a swimmer, but I like the idea of trying to prepare for the what ifs. So I need to think about, well, what if I'm down in London and I've got to get back home from Cheshire and I don't get home till 7. What will I do then? How will I fit my exercise in then? I really need to start thinking that through so that when work does change again, as to whatever it's going to be in the future, I can still keep those habits going. So that's the work I'm going to do, and encourage you to do the same. First of all, to identify what your learnings are, your lockdown learnings, but then what it is you need to do to actually embed that into your lives. And we are kind of guessing a little bit. We don't know what the new normal's going to be, but let's just try and prepare for as many what ifs as possible, and then we're more likely to be able to keep those habits, because we've obviously started them for a reason. So let's try and carry them on and make the most of this lockdown period. Have a great afternoon.